Hi, Collective. Well, because I've just finished doing a live in the new group that me and Spencer have got, which is called the Collective Consciousness, which is a Facebook group. So if you want to join in there, it'd be great. We just done a live, which was a welcome to the group, and Spencer did a meditation from the heart space, which was very powerful. We'll be doing things like that regularly. So if you would like to join us, just find the Collective Consciousness group on Facebook, um, and come and join in. So while we're doing the talk, I started to think about, and I mentioned in it about the idea that for years now that there was many of our ancestors that were not spiritual, or they were not living consciously spiritual, because back in the ancient times, it was more like a way of life to be at one with nature, live in rhythm with nature, live in rhythm with the cycles. But as the calendars were changed, and as time became like more of a prescribed set concept, people had to live by the man-made times, and everything went out of sync with the cycles. And sometimes what we call cycles now are not actually cycles, they're like a rhythm pattern. So anyway, I was thinking about the fact that now we're being called as a collective to be awake spiritually, to be awake in consciousness, which means being awake to like the more the realms and the like the energies, the angelic energies. Some people channel like the Palladians, and they channel the nine and things like that. So that's another level of consciousness, which is out of spirit, because spiritual consciousness is like working with like ancestors and people we have loved who have passed, or people we know who have passed. But there's a consciousness beyond there, which is to do with our spiritual growth, and to do with the spiritual growth of humanity, and the vibration of the earth, and the raising of the vibration of the earth. So that's another awakening. And in 2020, a lot of us have been very aware that we've had to awaken to the illusion of the matrix, awaken to some of the terrible things that go on while we're being distracted. And 2020, which is a great awakening, 2020 vision has been, we've been bombarded with things to distract us. So if we go back to our forefathers who were made to have to live life working really hard, being very physical, very much in the physical world, not being encouraged to be spiritual, being encouraged to be more religious, where religious is more externalizing power, whereas your spiritual journey is an inner journey. But because a lot of the years that was made to be externalized, people forgot what their power was. So people were not brought up by parents who were telling them about their spiritual power, and about how they've got a God energy within them, and how they can do anything and manifest anything, because that wasn't part of the people had moved away from that type of consciousness. So we're in a time now where people are awakening right now into this hard time for the collective, having to awaken on the multi levels of the spiritual awakening, the consciousness, and the woke awakening, like seeing what's going on in this world. So really, it's a really multi-layered time to awaken, and we haven't got really like a framework from parents and grandparents and parents before that to understand how to do this, because centuries ago it was so normal. It was like breathing, but we were having to make a conscious effort to do this. And within this, we've got to still be working on being the best human that we can be, and doing the best for humanity that we can do. And so, like, some people live by the 42 laws of Bahat, or the confessions of Bahat. So you can look in the morning, read them, see what you plan, how you plan to be a, a an awesome person for that day, how you're going to be feeding to humanity with giving that good vibration, that none of that nasty energy. And at the end of the day, you can look and see how you done. So you were looking at yourself, you're looking at the way you are choosing to live, and you're answering to yourself. But what we've been made to do in this world is look at other people too much. We've been to externalize everything, to worship people, idolize people who shouldn't be idolized, and now we're seeing why they shouldn't be idolized. To listen to people external to our own voice, and to judge other people, when in reality the only person we should be looking at is ourselves, because we are all part of the collective, and they say we're all like almost like one being. So it's not, it doesn't make sense to look at everyone else. Just look at you and what you're putting in, because if you put in better, you would get better. So if you think of the collective as a big pot of stew, if you're putting in health into the pot, it starts to outweigh those who are putting in the bad stuff. But if you're adding bad stuff too, what chance does it have? So we have a responsibility now. We have to facilitate our awakenings and help other people awaken, and be conscious of putting unconditional love into this pot. Think about what if you were going to feed something to your child, what would you want in the pot? Put goodness in, because at the moment the world needs goodness. Wake up in the morning and intend to be nice. If you feel yourself going out of sync with niceness, pull yourself back in. Pull yourself back into line. Be vigilant of yourself. We have so many thoughts a day, it can be hard to monitor your thoughts, so go by your feelings. If you're feeling off, your thoughts are probably off, so pattern your thoughts. Try and chant or concentrate on something else. Watch something high vibrational, listen to some high vibrational music, talk to someone who's an upbeat person. Get yourself back into your vibration, because it's an important time now to really be the best human that you can be. Be of service to humanity, but really look after you too. And that's not selfish, because if you're not looking after you, you are in a position to look after anyone else either. So you have to really start to be conscious of self-care. So then once you're doing enough self-care, you can care for other people too. Yeah, so it is hard because we haven't really got a template in for everyone who's around now, for how you live in that really spiritual essence, where you're not judging people, you're not being bad-minded, you're not trying to always be in competition with each other, you're leaving the jealousy alone, you're not wanting of other people, you're not trying to hurt people, you're not trying to do damage to other people, being a good person, because a white shirt is still tainted even by a little speck of dirt. It's no longer a clean white shirt. So even if you think, oh well, I'm good a lot of the time, but then a day a week I start being nasty to people, it ruins it all. You've got to try and take each day and be the best person you can be. At least intend to and try your best. And so when you trip up, you didn't intend to. You're not trying to hurt people. People say intention is everything, but doing is everything too. Do, intend and do. Action. So I just thought I'd give that short message today, because I think it's important that we really focus now on unconditional love. Get your rose quartz out, hold your rose quartz, connect in your heart space, get that green going in your heart chakra, go into your heart, connect your heart to your mind, go into your higher self, and just send that love vibration out to the collective, send it out to the universe, and you would get that love vibration back. And it's so healing. We were talking about this in our live today in the collective consciousness, how healing it is if you send love out, and the love that comes back to you, it's like reciprocity in motion. So do it. Send love out. it's not, it doesn't cost you anything. Sit in meditation, send love out. Stand at the bus stop and visualize sending love out to the collective and to the universe, and see how beautiful it is when you get that beautiful, warm, loving energy back. You can't really lose. It's a win-win situation, believe me. So anyway, thank you for listening to me today. I hope that you're enjoying my channel. I really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. Comments would be nice too. And please share. On my small channel, I'm trying to add relevant content at the moment. So if there's anything that you would like me to talk about, I'm not an expert in anything, but I speak from the heart, and I know a little bit about a lot of things in the spiritual sense. There's some things about the mind. And I'm a mother, so if you want me to talk about life as a striving to be a spiritual mother, I'm happy to do that. But just let me know, and I will speak to you soon. Namaste.